What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Wolf's Den. This is my weekly podcast that I haven't done in a while, which I'll get to in a second. But if you are new to the channel, which I'm assuming most of you are, this is my podcast where we kind of just shoot the shit, talk about a little bit of everything that's been going on, and yeah, just waste some time away and relax. So get your coffee, get your alcohol, get anything, get your ganja, and sit back and relax. We're gonna talk about a bunch of shit. First off, the channel. So I've been trying to get another job to pay for the marketing campaign for the channel, just so I can, because it doesn't seem like YouTube suggests my content that much. Um, and I see most of my growth is from the marketing campaign. So I got a second job that I can hopefully put some money into the marketing campaign. So that'd be awesome. That would be cool. But yeah, I've been trying to nail that down. That's why I haven't made a video in like 3 weeks. But what I usually what I want to do is, excuse me, I want to do kind of like a box office now episode every Monday, going over the box office, how things went throughout the week, and mostly the weekend. But I also want to do next gaming. I don't know if I'm going to do next gaming the same as I used to, because I maybe once this channel gets off the ground, I can do like a weekly video talking about everything that happened throughout the week, or maybe day by day. I don't know. That's what I used to do, but I think I'm gonna do more streamlined content, kind of make individual topics, because I'm not really into everything. I'm not a big Nintendo fan, and that's a lot of the news. Um, I don't know. Not every topic is it doesn't come off genuine. I like being genuine. I like talking about things that I care about. Or if it's something you like, you can comment below and I'll make a video on it, and you'll get my take. Whether if you like it or not is up to you. I'm not the type to be. I'm just a regular dude. I'm no star. I'm no YouTube star, anything like that. I'm um, just a regular dude. Really, I like gaming. I like movies, and that's kind of what I want to base the channel off of. And that's what I feel like I've done. But at the same time, I've kind of teetered towards the movies because there's just so much more content that is interesting to me when it comes to movies versus gaming when I was, had, crunched for time. But hopefully that can change because I am a huge gamer. I'm a huge gamer. I got a PC, all the consoles. Like, I could talk for days about gaming, but I just need to focus. I don't know. It's hard, man. It's hard when you put out videos and they get like a couple hundred views and you put a lot of time into them, and you get no comments. Like, it really messes with your head sometimes. So I try to be the realist that I can, try to tell you guys how it is. And if a movie's good, if a movie's shit, I'm not gonna lie to you. uh why would I lie? I have no reason to lie about my opinion. It's just that, like, I put out a Last of Us video, which I'm not a huge fan of the show, for multiple reasons, and that video got some attention, some bad attention. And I'm like, man, like, just don't take this shit personal. It's just film. It's just gaming. It's opinions. That's all it is. Don't get your titties in a bunch, or your panties in a bunch. But I don't know. We're gonna have a good show today, though. I do want to talk about Dead Space. I finished that up. I started Resident Evil 4. We can talk a little bit about John Wick 4. The Call of Duty acquisition has been getting some news lately, and just go over, games and films that are coming soon. So it should be a good show. Um, Hopefully, like I said, we can do like box office now on Mondays. I think the podcast is going to be Sunday because that's when I have some free time, is Sunday. Uh, I basically got the weekend off, but I'm going to still try to pump shit out throughout the week. Hopefully, I'm not too exhausted, but we'll see. My sleeping schedule is fucked. But but yeah, box office now, next gaming, and then click impressions, which is like trailer reactions and reviews, and that's really all I want to focus on. Anything else is just it just gets to be in a lot. Um, but yeah, um, I think the first thing I want to talk about is Dead Space because I just finished that a couple days ago. Dead Space, That was my shit in 2008. That was one of the first games I got on the PS3, if I am correct. There wasn't a lot for the PS3 in 2008 that was like top tier gold gaming, you know, and Dead Space was phenomenal. I look back at the videos comparing the two, and it's like night and day. It just, I don't remember it looking like that. You know, it's been a while, but that is crazy just to think about how much they improved with this remake. They changed a couple things, like I think a couple of the chapters where you had to remote, like there's one I instantly recognized because I was talking to my girlfriend. I'm like, all right, you gotta watch this because this is gonna be cool as fuck. Because in the original, you got behind this gunner and you had to shoot these asteroids. Is that asteroids? Yeah, like comets or whatever was coming at the ship, and you had to like individually shoot them, and it was kind of like playing asteroids. If you ever played that back in the day, like it was literally that, but in a modern form, and I think that really resonated with me back in the day. But I think I don't remember struggling with it. Maybe like a couple times, and then I figured out how to do it, whatever. But I heard a lot of people did not like that format, and now they changed it to where you have to go out into the, you know, uh, out into on the deck and kind of like control it with your gun, like you sync it up. And I felt like that was really strange. And the way they didn't really explain it, or maybe I'm just stupid, but like you don't. I thought you had to shoot your gun and it would shoot with it, like because it's in sync. But you actually just had to press X, and as soon as you figure that shit out, it's pretty easy. There was also another boss battle that I think they changed. Um, Little things like that, you know, nothing huge. Um, they changed some actors. I think the black dude from the original was hands down way better than whoever they got for this. Um, if you know who I'm talking about, the black actor from the first one, it was almost like spitting image. I don't know how they did it in 2008, but it was maybe they had mocap or something, but he was awesome. He plays in a bunch of shit. I can't remember what he played in though. Uh let's see. Let's see if we can look it up. Dead Space, where's the actors at? Dead Space cast. Wow. Oh, wait a minute. That's a movie. Oh my god. Cast of Dead Space. Why did it do that? Jesus Christ. Um, wow. Google, you suck. You have to go to IMDb. Let's see though. Where's his ass at? Oh, Peter Massa? Peter Mas Peter Massa, I guess. He's awesome. I can't think of what he played in. Let's look though. Fuck it. Spartacus. That's where the motherfucker's from. And Avatar? I don't remember him in Avatar. 300. Yeah, he's the dude they. This is Sparta. Fucking kicked him off. I don't remember him in Jason X though. Great actor though. Great. And they kind of replaced him with this average dude. But other than that, I think they aged up Isaac and his wife. Can't remember her fucking name, but they aged him up a little bit for logical reasons, I guess, because of their position that they had on the ship. Would have been that they were in their 30s or 40s, not their 20s. So I get that. I guess I don't really care about the casting. The gameplay was phenomenal, and right after Callisto Protocol, it was like it was needed. You know, we needed something good, like a good horror space genre example. You know, because I couldn't even finish Callisto Protocol, and I only had like 2 hours left, but it was like I got stuck, and I just did not feel like playing that fucking game anymore. You know, it was not entertaining in the slightest near the end, you know? But this game, amazing. Dead Space, you should be seeing some gameplay of Dead Space and Atomic Heart, which I guess we can talk about that too, because I never really talked about Atomic Heart, but it was a flawed game, you know, good in concept, you know. I love the concept of, you know, alternate history, all that. It's phenomenal in that respect, but for the most part, the gameplay was not doing it for me. It was not. It was very frustrating, especially I think I got about halfway through the game, and they just throw a lot of shit at you, and you don't have a lot of ammo. You don't have a lot of money to get ammo, and you have like four of these. Uh, you have like the white robots, which they have different powers. Then you have the black robots that are like super fast, super powerful, you know. And then you have the little crawling, like little mini alligator things that come at you, like their head is a chainsaw. I don't know. It just got frustrating after a point. I'm like, this is not fun. This just isn't fun. I don't want to play this, you know. And it's disappointing because it started off good, and eventually it just got fucking hard. I'm like, this is just not fun. I don't know. The story wasn't doing it for me after a point too. Like at first it did, and then it got a little. I don't know. Just like the little AI robot that you trek on with. He had the best lines, but everything else, I don't know. It just wasn't doing it for me. I did like the main character though. He reminded me of like a Duke Nukem, uh, Serious Sam type of character, but I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. It was a disappointment, which we'll get to the biggest games of the year later. But yeah, Dead Space, phenomenal. It was about a 10-hour experience, 9 10 hours. Very good game. I don't know if I would pick it up for $70. Like unless you're a Dead Space fan, you know, like you're a big Dead Space dude. Uh, I don't know. 70 is a little high. And these games don't seem to be dropping. That's what I noticed is a lot of games, even from a year ago, are still 50, $60. And I don't know if that's showing the market isn't for it or what. I have no idea, but, or if there's just more PS5 and Xbox Series X software out there that hasn't been bought, so they have to mark it up or whatever the case may be. But we're just gonna have to see, I guess, because that just sucks, you know, to wait a whole year. You basically have to wait till Black Friday for last year's games, you know, because like I don't know, it's frustrating when it comes to gaming. It ain't really the most expensive hobby in the world, you know. It's not terrible, but at the same time, it's a little frustrating when you have 30 plus games every year and they don't ever get a fucking price drop, you know. But um, and yeah, I started Resident Evil 4. I'm only about maybe an hour or two in. I never played the original. I think if I did, it was on the GameCube at my buddy's house when I was a kid. Uh, and it was, I don't know, I was never a really big Resident Evil fan. You know, the UI was always frustrating to me growing up. So I never got an opportunity to really dive into Resident Evil 4. But, you know, so many fans that I grew up with, all my friends loved Resident Evil 4. And that was kind of like the peak because I know the other ones are iffy. But after 4, they kind of went down. You know, 5 is. I played that on the PS3 when it first came out, and it was frustrating. But I finished that. That wasn't bad. 6 just got over the top, and obviously they made a comeback with 7 and 8, and now they're remaking everything in a better way. But I'm not far enough into to really judge it. So far, it's cool. Seems like a regular survival horror game with a Japanese twist. It's so weird when you hear what they think other cultures sound like, or you know, you just expect top tier acting, and it really isn't. Like the introduction with the two cops was kind of cringy, but I don't really care, to be honest. Sometimes the scripts and all that just don't phase me if the gameplay is amazing. So I'll probably talk more about Resident Evil 4 next week when I get some time to play it throughout the week. So that's awesome. John Wick 4, we seen that. I made a video, should be out if you guys want to see a more detailed uh, explanation of, you know, how I felt about the movie. Honestly, it's best movie of this month. And I haven't even seen most of the movies, but I can tell you this movie is phenomenal. I do still want to see Creed 3 and then Scream 6 and Shazam Fury of the Gods, even though I've heard terrible things about that movie. They should all go to streaming pretty soon. That was one of the disappointments of the last Scream, is that it came to Paramount really fast. I think it was either a month or two, and I'm like, damn, I could have just waited. And I wasn't really a big fan of Scream 5. Um, just I don't know, it just didn't make sense with the reveal. Like they showed it too. Like they show Ghostface, and then he falls down, and then it's like like it's just cheese, man. You can't have a tiny woman transition that, you know? Like this is a 6 foot tall dude, and then out of nowhere it's just this tiny little bitch when they take the mask off after she fell down the stairs or whatever. And it just seemed really stupid. Like some of these like they're just, I don't know. I'm just not, I don't feel it as much. I've never really felt the villains of the Scream movies. The first one was cool, but then the second one was and the third one I don't even remember. The fourth one I think they brought back somebody from the old. It's just they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and to have Ghostface, such an iconic villain, you never get a good villain out of him. There's like a good humane, like a human that you can relate to, and I don't know, they just do it shitty. So I'm not really disappointed in not seeing that. I've heard Scream 6 is better, but I don't know. I'm not really pressed for that either way. But John Wick, that is a, you know, because it's the longest. I don't think any of the other movies are close to a 3 hour mark. John Wick 4 is so fucking long. Some people are upset about it, but you can't. I don't know. It's not really that long if you think about it. Like you have a 10-15 minute end sequence, you have a 10-15 minute intro, and then in the middle there is just action packed. And I don't really have complaints. That's what I expected. You know, especially with a movie that's kind of like this is the last chapter for a while. You need to end off with something substantial. You can't just end it, you know. So yeah, I had a good time. My girlfriend loved it. We were laughing at so many scenes. You know, I love the kill shots. I put that in the video. I love they don't show kill shots enough. You know, you'll see like action movies, they'll shoot them a couple times in the chest and it'll keep things going. But John Wick will kill like 3 dudes and still put like 2 each, you know, just to make sure. So that's awesome. You know, can never get enough of the gun fu, the car fu, the great cast. This is probably the best cast out of all the John Wick movies because they always throw in some continental fuckers that I just don't vibe with all the way. Like I don't believe that they would be in in a position of power for this kind of like Illuminati esque uh, organization that kind of controls everything behind the scenes. But this one they had a phenomenal cast. I cannot deny that. That was amazing. But if you haven't seen it, go out and see it. I did want to see it because there's a IMAX theater about an hour away, and we were gonna go see it there, but my car fucked up, so I had to use my other car, and it wasn't worth it. I just don't want to drive an hour, honestly. So we even thought about taking an Uber, like, but then that'd be an expensive ass Uber. But I do want to see a movie in IMAX. I've never been to a true IMAX theater. You know, we have XD where I'm at, but we don't have IMAX. That's about an hour away. But I did want to see it with that. There was one movie that would definitely uh it would definitely be appropriate for an IMAX theater. But if you haven't seen it, you gotta go out and see it. It's phenomenal. But I do want to talk about the Call of Duty acquisition because that's been getting some news lately. And I'm in the minority that I don't think it's necessary. I hate the argument, and I know people are gonna hate me for this. I know there's people out there that I don't see where this love for Microsoft came from, you know? Because me being I'm a old school gamer, you know, I played all the way back to the Sega Genesis and, you know, the Super Nintendo, the original Nintendo. We even had an Atari, but I didn't really play it too much. But I'm a gamer at heart, you know, and I remember a lot of both companies. Excuse me. But when it comes to all these companies, like if we're just talking about the Sony Microsoft argument, if we put them side by side, which companies are like their issues, right? So you have Microsoft, they took over the PC market with Windows. Like there's everybody has Windows now. You know, I know some people have Macs and in the I forget the is that iOS? Um, whatever their 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 fucking system is for Apple. I've never been into Apple really, other than I had a couple design classes in college, but in which I can say Apple is superior in that regard. But for the most part, every business, every school, everywhere is Windows. So they're Microsoft is the type to take a whole market, you know, and that to me seems like a monopoly, but whatever. Uh, but then you go forward with Xbox. The only reason Xbox is anything because of this whole exclusives don't matter situation. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it matters because if Halo didn't come out, I don't think Xbox would be a brand. They didn't have much on the original Xbox. I mean, they had a couple titles, but Halo was the major push, right? And then you have the 360, which was, you know, the sequel console that had so much to offer, you know, not to mention the differences between the I think it was the CPUs between the 360 and the PS3. It just made it way easier to develop for on the 360, which made sense, and that's, you know, that's why a lot of developers basically made their games exclusive to Xbox just out of that regard. You know, you had Saints Row, Mass Effect, bunch of titles that were only on the 360 for many years, which I think Saints Row never actually went to PS3, the original, but obviously Microsoft can take advantage of a market. That's what they do. Then when you combine that with the Red Ring of Death, they're not the most trustworthy company, you know? And yeah, you can say the PS3 had its issues, but if you really look at it, like at the time, you know, 2006, Blu-rays were over $1,000. It was insane. You know, you can pick one up now for $250, $300. You can get a really expensive one for $400, I think, at my Walmart. But back in the day, they were 1,000 plus. So if you're getting a PS3, which it made sense, like that's the same reason people got a PS2. It was basically a DVD player. It was a CD player, and it was a fucking gaming device. The PS3 just built upon that with Blu-ray, right? And I honestly don't see a problem with a $600 price tag when the market was like that, you know. But obviously, I didn't buy a $600 PS3. I think I waited till 2008. A couple price drops happened by then, so I didn't have, I guess, this hate towards Sony for that regard. I don't know, but and then you go after that, and how have the companies evolved since the PS3 generation? So Microsoft, they pretty much just kind of took a couple brands. You know, they had Halo, Gears, trying to think of some other ones. Call of Duty, if you want to say, you know, because they had exclusive rights up until the PS4 took over. The 360 was the place to play Call of Duty. I can't think of any other games though off the top of my head. I mean, I know there's something out there. The Xbox really didn't have much. That was my main criticism back in the day. You know, the PS3, you had Uncharted, God of War, Heavy Rain. Uh, man, what was the? Let's look up some PS3 exclusives. See what pops up. Cause I know there's a shit ton. Let's see. Gran Turismo, Infamous, Ratchet and Clank, Metal Gear Solid, which was 5 exclusive? I can't remember. Demon Souls, Yakuza, Resistance, Journey. There's just so many good games on the PS3. I know there's some misses like Haze, which I actually got that a long time ago, and that is something. The Last of Us. You know, they had so many games on the PS3, and it's weird too because like gaming has went in such a weird direction, you know, because it used to be there was a console war. People would, and I think it's also like I think it's like you're like how do I explain this? Like when you're a youth, like when you're a teenager and you don't have a lot of money, uh, like either like you save up from holiday season or you have like a small job, you can't really buy everything. You know, it's hard. It really is, and I completely understand it. That's the way I was. I had to pick between a PS3 and a 360, and the Wii wasn't even a fucking option. You know, I didn't even want the Wii. I got a Wii now. I got all the shit now. But I'm talking about when I was a youth, I didn't really think of Xbox as being a premium brand, but at the same time I did. Like, it was weird because all my friends, not all, I should say, a good like 25% of my friend base was on the 360, and they'd always talk about uh, Xbox Gold. Is that what Xbox Live Gold? I think that I can't remember. It's been years. I think it's Xbox Live Gold subscription, but they had that. We had the PlayStation Network, and there was just so many arguments that we made back in high school, and just saying like, "Oh, I got my, my we play for free. You have to pay to even go online. We have exclusives. You don't have exclusives. Our system is more powerful than the 360." Like, there was arguments that you made back and forth to like justify why you went with a certain brand, because it was never like I wanted to like, okay, I gotta fuck with this guy because he got a 360, I got a PS3. No, it was usually the 360 people, kind of like Ohio State fans, how they're just dicks. It was like they're just assholes for no reason, and you'd have to like defend yourself and be like, well, listen, so like, what games do you have? And they'd be like Gears of War, Halo. Let's look up the 360 because I'm totally blanking right now. Oh shit. Hopefully I didn't just turn off the goddamn. No, we're still recording. Um, yeah, I mean, fucking Crackdown, Fable. Fable was not that good. Hopefully this new Fable is something, but I played through the first three Fables like last summer. Was not really for me. Alan Wake, that's cool, I guess. Like, if you look at the list, they're much more mainstream and a lot of random games. Dead Rising, that was a big one. That was one I was really jealous of, actually. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, Dead Rising was probably because I'm a huge zombie fan, and I was playing World at War while everybody was playing Dead Rising, and I love Dawn of the Dead, and it's basically Dawn of the Dead in a game form. And then when I actually did get Dead Rising, I think my first experience was Dead Rising 2 on the PS3. Eventually, I played the remaster on the new Xboxes and all that of the original one, but Dead Rising was so fucking cool in concept, but then when you get in the reality of the situation, you have a timer, which I think you could disable it once you beat the game, but I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, they had some hits, but like, is this enough to make a brand? You know, I'm looking at this list. You have Crackdown, Forza, Gears, Alan Wake, which was a one-off, Dead Rising, which was a one-off until 3, I think. When they did 3, it was exclusive again. But really, I don't know. And Banjo Kazooie, which was the worst one, nuts and bolts. And then they utilized their Kinect to get Dance Central going on there, and I don't know. It wasn't it for me. And people defended Xbox to the T about dumb shit, and I just could never get on board. You know, I love Halo. I love the first couple Gears of War. I think Gears of War ended for me at 3. After 3, it kind of got a little stupid, but hopefully the movie brings back Gears of War. But I don't know, man. But it's crazy how things went after that, is what I'm saying. Like we had a legit console war. There's not too many console wars, which is crazy too. Like, if we want to go over console wars, you had the Nintendo. Well, you had the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. That was like the first one, and I was on the side of the Genesis. A lot of people like the Super Nintendo, which I never understood because the Genesis showed more gore. It looked better in some aspects, and then some others, the Super Nintendo looked better than the Genesis, vice versa, whatever. But I thought the Genesis was superior with the games, but that's just me. And the controller, it was awesome. Genesis was fucking dope. And then after that, there really was no console war. You know, like, you had the PlayStation that was just phenomenal, and most people kind of geared towards that. But you also had the N64 for all the Nintendo fans, and then the Saturn, the Sega Saturn just like died. Nobody really played it, I guess. And after that, it was like PlayStation took over. With the PS2, they were the shit, and that was just fact. You had the Xbox and the GameCube, which I've never really been into either. I mean, I had cousins and friends that had the consoles, but I never. We weren't really. We couldn't. We weren't balling. You know, we couldn't buy all three. We had to pick one, and the PS2 was obvious. It was an obvious choice. It had the biggest library. And that was mainly what it was. It just had a huge library. You could use it as a DVD player, a CD player. It was just awesome. It was slick. It was small. Because I think I got the slim one in 2004, which is crazy. That is fucking nuts. But there was really no console war until the PS3 and 360, you know, and because they were like button heads. And then when we get to the PS4 and the Xbox One, it was an obvious win. You know, that is legendary. That's gonna be that's that because people always say like the 2005 or 2006 E3 showing of Sony is like it's remembered by all of us as being a colossal fuck up, which it was. It wasn't just the price of the PS3; it was just the whole show was very ass. You know, just very bad. You know, just inefficient at getting people hyped for the PS3. But they made a comeback. They had a whole fucking marketing campaign around that one dude, the dude that did those funny commercials for the PS3. But then when the PS4 came, they just took over because Xbox fucked up royally, right? And what happened in between then? You know, we all thought the PS4 was dope. In what, 2016, they made Game Pass, and I mean Game Pass is cool, but you know, I have Game Pass. I have Game Pass Ultimate, and it is convenient. You know, I get to play all the sports games. I don't want to buy them, so this is nice that I can just play all the sports games on Game Pass. You have some day one releases, which some, you know, it's hit or miss. Some are better than others, but and I know they have a huge back catalog but I've already played so many of those games. I don't need to go back and play everything, you know. So I think it's best for people that haven't been playing games for a minute, you know, and they're like, oh shit, look at this huge selection, you know. And I think that's where Sony's fucking up because they have the entire PS2 library that they could just unload on PS Plus, but they just don't, and it's very frustrating because they have a bigger library than Xbox, so it just doesn't make sense. They should be doing better, but that is what it is. But I just don't know where this love came from, you know, because Game Pass isn't that. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. You know, but it's nothing to get crazy about. And then when you look at the subscription numbers, I think they're only at like 25, 30 million subscribers globally. I mean, that's pretty shitty, you know. You want to think about it in realistic terms. The US has like 250, 300 million people. You know, the European countries combined is probably, I don't even fucking know. Honestly, it's probably close to that number. And then you have the Japanese market as well. And you're telling me they only got 25 million of everybody? That's not that good. You know, it really isn't. I think they're going off of this day one releases as their main push, but even the games they're putting out, they really, like, you had Atomic Heart, so which we'll get into the games that came out so far this year because I do want to talk about those. But Game Pass in general this year is, I mean, you have Redfall looking a little iffy. You have Forza, which that should be solid, and then Starfield. We really don't know how that's gonna turn out, but I think that's it. I think they showed off Hi-Fi Rush as well, which I have yet to play that because I'm not really, I'm not feeling it. But um, I just don't get where this love comes from for Microsoft. You know, it doesn't make sense to me. Especially the way they took over this market. They pushed their Xbox Series S, which got a bunch of praise, and I just don't give a fuck. I don't care. about what they're doing. I don't care about Roblox and all these Phil Spencer interviews that are just cringy. Like he's like, oh, I'm gonna play Roblox. I'm like, really? Your grown ass is playing Roblox? Are you serious? Like that, you just docked some points for me. I thought you were cool. Look at you. But I don't know. I think it's and then you have on the Sony side, you have their new CEO kind of bad mouthing old games and that he wants to remake things, and I don't know. He's just gaming is in a fucking situation right now, you know? Like we don't know what's happening, and with this Call of Duty Acquisition. I've had one too many vodka shots. Uh, but I don't know about this. I don't understand why people are pushing for even I look, okay? Look. It's perfectly okay for the better console, you know, the 360 or the PS4, PS5 to take exclusive timed exclusivity, right? I've seen that almost my whole gaming life, you know, and it pissed me off. Don't get me wrong. It did. I hated when my 360 buddies were playing Ascension a fucking month before me. That sucked. But it is what it is, and you just got to get over yourself. Like it was just that's what it was, and that happened with the PS4, and then I think the PS5 as well. Maybe not. I think they stopped with the PS5, but or it might have been Cold War or something. But they just, I don't think either company, either Sony or Microsoft, should have exclusive access to Call of Duty. I think it's bad shit, and the arguments don't make sense. Like I was at GameStop for a midnight release of I think it was either Dead Space or Final Fantasy. What was it? I can't remember what it was. Reunion, whatever the one that came out in December. I went to one midnight release and I was talking to the manager about the acquisition, and he made some arguments to that. Well, Sony can make these, you know, have these timed exclusives and no one cares, but as soon as Microsoft wants to do it, and I'm like, listen, bro, you just fucked up in your sentence comprehension, because that's fucking stupid what you just said. Because to compare timed exclusivity to owning an IP is not the same. It's just not, and it will never be the same. It's stupid to even think that, you know? Like, who are you to really be a dickhead to Sony? Because they know that, you know, a lot of their fan base, they just know their fan base. They know that they have a majority of Final Fantasy fans, right? So, I don't know. It's business, you know? But it makes sense. It's not treading on anything. It's very peaceful, you know? Obviously, they're paying money to get a little bit of money. It all makes sense. But when you buy a whole ass company, where's the decency in that? You know, they're going, like, they add on this, well, we have a 10-year deal, which I don't even know if they're going to give Sony the 10-year deal because they denied it multiple times or whatever. But it's like, if they have Call of Duty, bro, like, it irks me because they're like this, because I think the European Union came out talking about they were talking about it's not going to inflict on the business practices of consoles, and it's not going to be unfair, etc., whatever. And I think it is. It totally is. If you have a console that you can only play Call of Duty on, not to mention that they're going to put every Call of Duty on Game Pass. It's going to be every Call of Duty is going to go to Game Pass. You're going to get day and date or day one releases of Call of Duty for Game Pass subscribers, right? It's a huge incentive for their company to grow, and I understand that. But to say the biggest FPS game in history, like they just broke records with Modern Warfare 2, you're just going to give that to one of the console manufacturers? Like if Sony bought Call of Duty, there'd be an uproar. It'd be like, damn, like it just doesn't make sense. There's like there's a bias or some shit that they think Sony's just gonna do bad things, but Microsoft, they're gonna do what's right for gamers, and it's totally batshit. It makes no sense. And this is, I mean, people are saying, I've been arguing with people at work. They're like, well, Sony can just make their own They can make their own FPS giant. I'm like, really? Like, how naive are you? Like any Sony fanboy that's like, yeah, we can just make our own, dude, and we can make our own Call of Duty. I'm like, no, you can't. You cannot make your own Call of Duty. It'd be like being that's like John Wick. Like if someone came out with a movie exactly like John Wick with a different set of actors, it would not do the same because it's already established. John Wick is established. If they went head to head on a weekend, John Wick would win because it's fucking established. You can't just make a new IP and expect everybody to fucking hop on its dick, you know? It's not That's not how it works. You know, what are they going to do? Bring like cuz people are like, "Oh, they'll bring back Killzone, they'll bring back SOCOM, Resistance." I'm like, "These are failed franchises, okay? They're not fucking I mean, yeah, maybe SOCOM if you reworked it, but Killzone it's kind of fell off. Fucking Resistance, that third one, even though it was pretty good, fell off. And like to me personally, I'm like, all right, if this actually goes through, which I'm still skeptical because it's such a massive. And also, by the way, before we continue, okay, let's talk about Bethesda. They told the European Union that nothing would be exclusive, right? And then they got Bethesda, made everything exclusive. Yeah, they gave Sony like a couple games. I think they got a Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo exclusive for a year, whatever their deal was, and that somehow made it better. It's like, no, now they have Bethesda fully. They lied. That's legit what happened. They're saying the same thing for Activision. I don't get why people are not realizing they're going to take it all. And that's, I mean, yeah, people are saying, you know, they can't do it because, you know, they make so much profit off of PlayStation that it would be unlogical. But it's like, you're talking about Microsoft. You're talking about one of the biggest companies in the world. They have trillions, trillions, trillions. Okay, they can just eat the costs. They can just say fuck it, and they're gonna see some exposure, and people are gonna be like, okay, all right, you can only play it on Xbox now. Oh, I gotta go get an Xbox. I'm gonna save up for an Xbox. I still want to play Call of Duty. Like, they can convince a market. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. They have the capital to say fuck whatever profits PlayStation 5 gives us. We can just ride this out until it's our brand, and then it doesn't matter at that point, you know? So I don't know. It's a tricky situation. I think if it does go through, which I said I'm still skeptical, but if it does go through, I think Sony's buying someone. And if it's going to be FPS related, I think, I don't know, like could they buy Battlefield, like just Battlefield, the IP of Battlefield from EA? I think that would make some sense. Or maybe Apex. You know, they already have Destiny, which I was talking to someone about on a YouTube video. We were commenting back and forth, and I think they were saying that Bungie has made it clear that they don't want to become exclusive. But I'm like, that doesn't really add up though. Like contextually, you know, with the context we have, yeah, it made sense. But if Microsoft has Call of Duty, you're telling me Sony, they just bought Bungie, they own Bungie, they're not just gonna make Destiny PC, PlayStation? Like, it would still be on PC and it would still be on PlayStation. It would just not be on Xbox. That seems pretty reasonable to me, especially when you see Call of Duty is exclusively on Xbox. That doesn't feel like it's so out of bounds, you know. But Battlefield as well. Maybe they could buy Battlefield. Maybe they could just buy EA. Can you imagine if Sony bought EA? Maybe they could turn Madden into something. Wouldn't that be awesome? They actually made Madden into something great. But I see them buying people, you know? Like, I know people are saying Capcom they're doing too good right now to be bought, but I mean, you never really know. You don't know. Capcom's doing so good, maybe Sony's like, we should take that. They're doing good. Let's take that, you know? Or maybe Square Enix. I think that would be more of a better idea, especially because Sony is kind of weak in the Japanese market. They're not completely, you know, doing terrible like Xbox, but you know, if they had Square Enix under their belt and you can only play Final Fantasy or all these other Japanese related franchises, then yeah, you could totally fucking make an impact in the Japanese market. Not only that, but also, you know, anybody that's a Final Fantasy fan, etc. So I definitely see shit going in that direction. But it's weird because like we were not that far. It's only been a couple years since we were like gaming is this community and we got to do cross play and we all play together in peacetime and harmony. And then now it's like, all right, we're back to a console war, but we're at the height of it. Like we've never seen these companies going after these huge companies, you know? Like Sony might make games and Microsoft might make games or take third party companies games or whatever the case may be, but no one has just started buying shit, you know? They bought Bethesda. That's insane to think about. That's just crazy. They have Fallout. That is theirs. That is theirs now. That is fucking nuts. And no one is like talking about it. It just makes no goddamn sense to me. It really doesn't. Like, you should never give too much power to any company that is a console manufacturer because it's going to incite a. It's going to, I mean, either A, it drives competition and Sony actually does go out and make their own FPS game, but at the same time, it's just, that seems stupid. That doesn't seem like it's going to make an impact unless they really strike gold, you know? And it just, I don't know. I don't see where this is going. You know, I mean, I see Sony buying a bunch of companies or buying a bunch of new developers and making new titles that are unique because they've always been good at making their exclusives very unique. You know, I got to give them credits to that. Like, they have a bunch of titles, man. Let's look up the PS4. PS4 exclusives. Wow. You ain't gonna fucking show me? You bastards. Alright, the best PS4 exclusives you need to play. Oh, what the fuck? Street Fighter 5? That makes me wonder if Street Fighter 6 is exclusive. I don't think it is. I don't think so. Yakuza, Infamous Second Son, Ratchet and Clank, Ghost of Tsushima. I can never say that. I'm sorry. Detroit Become Human. Like, these are unique games, big budget games, and that's another argument is that like Microsoft is going this route to where they don't really like. Sony is the more traditional side. They put a bunch of money into a game and then they put it out to the public and you buy it for $70. Now Microsoft, I imagine, are cutting corners like a motherfucker because this shit is day one releases. All you got to do is pay $15. You can play the game, unsubscribe, and you got it for a massive discount. You know, it's going from $70. Like, Atomic Heart is $70 for the disc on Xbox or PlayStation, right? But if you get Game Pass, you get to play it for $15. You know? So, but that also isn't an Xbox exclusive. You know, they have, those are the good games off of Game Pass. The games that are just third party trials, you know, like they're like, hey, give it to you. Yeah, but the exclusive games are usually subpar, you know. Like, I'm worrying about Starfield, and I think I'm probably gonna pass on it. I'm gonna be playing Spider-Man 2 most of September if that's when it comes out. So, which that was a big news article as well, that Spider-Man 2 and Starfield are gonna butt heads in September, which would be really interesting to see how that goes, because obviously Bethesda's terrible at making their games optimized, you know, and it's just bad shit to me that every game they put out is broken. It's fucking broken. I don't get it. So we'll see if Starfield is broken or not. We'll just have to wait. But I don't know, this Call of Duty acquisition, I don't think it's gonna go through. I've been saying that, but then with the European Union kind of like approving it in a sense, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. Some people were also saying that Microsoft just paid. You know, they have the money, they have the backing to just pay these union representatives to say whatever the fuck they feel like. But then at the same time, wouldn't you figure that would have happened sooner? Or is that like their game plan? They're like, we gotta wait a minute. We can't make it look like we just paid them off. We gotta wait and make our arguments, which Sony and Microsoft's arguments are fucking stupid. And I blame them. I blame this whole fucking acquisition on why we have gotten nothing. Like, we should already know when Spider-Man 2 is coming out, but they don't want to release any information on both sides about what's really coming. And that's frustrating because they don't want to make it seem like, oh, we have a lot to offer, you know, Sony or Microsoft. Like, we don't, we don't really need Call of Duty. We have all this, you know, but at the same time, it's Call of Duty, bro. Like there's going to be implications of Xbox owning Call of Duty. It's just gonna happen. I don't understand what the fuck the fuss is. Like we know that will happen. It doesn't make sense. But if we're gonna look at 2023, I do want to talk about how the year is going so far. So far, we haven't really got much. I mean, January, we had Dead Space and Hi-Fi Rush and Forspoken. I didn't play Hi-Fi Rush. I think I have it installed, but I haven't played it yet. Forspoken was a bomb for a lot of people. And then where the hell's Dead Space? Isn't that January? Maybe not. Where the fuck is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Dead Space, phenomenal. So that was a good start with Dead Space in January, because usually January doesn't have much. We go to February, and you had Hogwarts Legacy, which that was super hyped, right? But I don't know. I'm not a big I'm not a huge I shouldn't say I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan of Harry Potter. You know, I haven't read the books or anything like that, but it's it looks interesting. It just doesn't look like a $70 purchase for me. Maybe once it gets a little, you know, price drops a little bit, but at this rate, I'm gonna be waiting forever. Um, what else came out in February? Atomic Heart was a bust. I heard Wild Hearts was a bust as well. I watched some reviews on that. Did not. They just don't look like $70 games. You know, they don't look like something I'm gonna put that much money into. You know, that's just me. You know, if you're into all that, then or like a Dragon Ishin, that's one I actually did want to check out, but I'm a little hesitant because I still haven't finished Judgment or Lost Judgment, so I still have to finish those anyway. So it's no point in really going on to a next one. I do want to pick up Company of Heroes. I played the first one, I think, way back in the day, so that looks interesting. I'm a big World War II fan. Destiny 2, Lightfall. I'm just not a fucking. I'm not a Destiny diehard, you know? I'm not a Destiny like both games I did not make it to the expansion. You know, I played a shitload of 1 and 2. You know, I think I put in like 100, 200 hours in both of them, but I never make it to the expansion. I and then the raids, I just don't get into them. I don't know why. It's not for me. So I was thinking about Lightfall, but then you know, obviously I got more shit on my plate. I don't really need to get Lightfall. Scars Above. I didn't hear anything about that. Actually, I should probably look something up on that because it looked like I know I always said it I because I didn't know if it because I think it premiered at a Xbox E3 showcase, but I just assumed this is like their version of Returnal, which it looks very similar, but it is on everything. So maybe I'll pick that one up eventually. March, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I haven't gotten to that yet. It's on Game Pass. I think I have it downloaded or in my watch later or whatever, but it looks okay. It was not what I expected. I thought it was going to be very interesting, and we'll see. I'll make a video on it or something if I get around to it. But then yeah, the rest of March kind of dies out. I think we had the VR PSVR 2 came out in March, or it might have been late February, maybe. WWE 2K23. I'll get it when price drops. What else came out? And obviously, Resident Evil 4 just came out. Is that where we're at right now? Okay, yeah. Uh, so yeah, I mean, nothing really came out. The Great War Western Front. I would love it if it just wasn't World War One. I don't care about World War One, and it doesn't look that appealing, you know. But maybe I'll look into it. I don't know. A lot of these games are just uh meh, you know. Like I could go without them, you know, for a while. April, we have Road 96 Mile Zero. I think it's must be an expansion or something. I really liked Road 96. Hopefully that goes to Game Pass like the original game, but I don't know. I don't really know what they're doing with that either, but we'll see. What else is coming out? Yeah, Minecraft Legends, which I really don't know what that is. I think it was a strategy game. Yeah, action strategy. We'll have to see what that is. That's coming to Game Pass as well. So, have some shit to play. I pre-ordered Dead Island 2, so that's cool. That should be awesome. That's coming out late April. Uh, that should be a good time. Hopefully, I really hope it's not disappointing because it looks a hell of a lot better than the original Dead Island or that Riptide sequel. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I'm probably gonna pass on that. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. It was basically like a Dark Souls Star Wars game, which I suck. I suck at those games. and but it does look like an improvement. It looks like an upgrade from the original. May, we have Redfall. Probably gonna play that a little bit. See what that's about. I've heard people are comparing it to Far Cry. They're comparing it to what was the other one? Left 4 Dead. I think it's more Left 4 Dead than Far Cry. I mean, I get it. It's open world, but I don't see it as a Far Cry game. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm probably gonna pass on that for a little bit. Get it later. Lord of the Rings Gollum. That looks terrible. That looks like a shitty game. I just don't like how they're doing Gollum. He don't look like Gollum. Just do Gollum how he was originally. Like, why does he have to look like he came out of fucking Psychonauts or fucking Ratchet and Clank, or what's Jak and Daxter? He looks like one of those characters. Make him look sinister. Make him look fucking like something. I don't know. It just does not look appealing at all. No, fuck that. System Shock. System Shock is coming out on PC. I don't know when it's coming out to everything else. To be announced. So we'll see. I'll probably get it on. I don't even know. I don't know where. Because I like to expand both my collections. My Xbox and my PlayStation collections. Because I have way more fucking PS5 games than Xbox Series X games. So I've been thinking like that Evil West game. If I ever pick that up, I'll probably get that on Xbox. But yeah. June we have Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy. That's about it. Crime Boss Rocket City, which I'm not really into the whole payday genre, so that's probably not going to be for me, to be honest. But there's nothing else in June. Oh, Diablo 4. I've heard the beta on Diablo 4 is incredible, so that should be awesome. July, we just got Exoprimal and Pikmin 4. Not really a big Pikmin fan, but we'll see how that goes. Exoprimal just doesn't appeal to me, I guess. We'll see how the reviews come out and how it plays and all that, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm really digging it. August is even worse. We have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which is like a Dead by Daylight type of thing. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Baldur's Gate 3, not really a big Baldur's Gate fan, but maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens when it gets closer to that. Liza P looked interesting. That's the Pinocchio Dark Souls type of game. So that should be interesting. I did want to get Steel Rising. I never got it though. Maybe it's I think it's price dropped by now, but we'll see. Oh, RoboCop got delayed, I guess, to September. I thought it was coming out in June. See how that goes. That actually looks interesting. I just don't know how it's gonna play. It looks a little slow paced, but I do love RoboCop. I love that fucking franchise, and it looks like it's paying tribute to the classic movie, so that's cool. Starfield, obviously. Other than that, September don't got shit. October don't got nothing. November we're getting the day before, apparently, allegedly. We don't know yet. But yeah, everything else. I mean, we're supposed to get an Alan Wake 2, Age of Empires 4. What else? Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming out at some point. What else is this? City Skyline 2, which that was actually pretty good city sim. The fact that they could That's Paradox too. Paradox is rivaling fucking SimCity, so that's awesome. Counter Strike 2, The Crew, Motorfest. Okay, didn't know that was coming out. Uh, Dune, Spice Wars, maybe. We'll see. I like real time strategy games. Uh, The Expanse. I still haven't seen that show. I think it's on Netflix or Hulu, but it's gonna be a new Telltale game, so that should be cool. Fallout 4 is coming to the fucking next gen. Are you serious? Oh my god. Holy fuck. Forza. What the hell else? Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. That should be cool. That's coming up. Probably, I imagine, November or December. Uh, I'm not seeing anything else. I do want to get that diplomacy game or whatever. I'll probably pick that up soon, just for shits and giggles. Uh, a Lollipop Chainsaw remake. Okay. Marvel Spider-Man, The Lords and the Fallen are coming to next gen. Mortal Kombat 12, apparently. That'd be really cool. This year is like a fighting game year. You have Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 12, the new Dragon Ball fighting game, Payday 3. That's going to be interesting to see Payday go against that Rockay City, the crime boss Rockay City. See who comes out on top on that. Not gonna lie, guys. I think I have to piss. We're in the S's though. I want to see where this goes. Stalker 2, hopefully. That's probably gonna be quarter 2. Star Wars. That's a mobile game. Sinuality, third person game. We'll see. We'll see a lot of these games when they, because these are all just to be announced titles. We don't really know where they're going. Warhammer 40K Space Marine. That's a third person shooter. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. I'll be right back. It'll be literally a second. All right, guys, I'm back. So yeah, I really can't make a, because I was gonna make a video talking about my most anticipated games, and there just isn't anything really to go off of yet. Like of everything we just looked at, I mean, I do want to play Company of Heroes, but it's not like a rush. You got Diablo 4, I guess. Dead Island 2 hopefully isn't a disappointment. But we get all the way to. Was there something in May that I forgot about? No, not really. System Shock, but that's only on PC, so I don't know if I'm going to pick that up on PC or not. Not really certain yet. And then you get to June, it's just. I think right now June is probably the most the most hyped month. You have Crash Team Rumble too. I forgot about that one, but that's really not my type of shit. The Smash Bros of Sony. But Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, and Final Fantasy 16 look like the fucking high point for this year. I mean, if you're into Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, that's a big one too. So like May, June is the peak. You know, we have a couple games up to that point to keep us busy, but I still have games to play from 2022, so I don't need to get these games day one. You know, the Game Pass ones would be cool, I guess, but yeah, I mean, nothing really coming out the rest of these months. I mean, yeah, Starfield and Spider-Man in September, but I mean, that's nothing crazy. You know, we just have no idea how the end of the year is gonna look. Once you get to know what the end of the year looks, you can kind of judge the entire year. Because so far we just have a couple months worth of games and then a lot of filler. But I'm sure August is gonna fucking light up. You know, July is usually a light month. I think this is what we're gonna have. you know, but all these other months I think are just gonna get huge, especially October, November. There has to be games, you know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, and I'll keep you guys updated. By the way, I do next gen charts. It's I do it when it's available. I could start doing it more, but there's really, I don't know. I don't see no reason to do, you know, because the charts that I look at, okay, they do a global chart, which is the one I make the video off of, and then right after that, they do a chart for every region, and it's kind of like a detailed chart on each of the regions. So you have Japan, South America, fucking Europe, America, which I think America is one of the last ones, and I think that's it. I think that covered them all. But they go into detail on each of them, and then they put out another global one that kind of puts that all together. And that's, I don't know. I don't need to do fucking, because there's a lot. There's a lot if I even look now. Like, let's look. Yeah, so Japanese charts, French charts, the UK, the Steam charts. Maybe that could be something cool to do, I guess. Maybe. New Zealand, Australian. Then it goes another Japanese. I don't know what the fuck. Europe. Seems like they do a lot of Steam charts. Maybe they can do that more frequent or something. Uh, PS5, PS Store download charts. Like, there's so many different fucking charts you can look at. I just like looking at the global, regular shit, you know? And that's why I do the weekly. I always look at. But see, the last one was January 28th. Is the last recorded week. Or maybe I gotta refresh it. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm stupid. You gotta turn a fucking light on. It's dark in here. Oh, shit. Um, so what did I say? The 28th. So it's over here. It's like a peak. That was a peak for all of them. I have it on Nintendo Switch, Xbox. Wait a minute. Um, is that just they combined them? I guess. Sorry guys. I'm trying to figure out how the hell to do this shit. Okay, so you have PS4 and Xbox One. They're doing a shitty, and then you have Nintendo Switch, PS5, series consoles. I guess they masked those together. That's so strange. Or I'm just stupid. Anyway, let's get to this. The January 28th, 2023 was a peak, and the next week PS5 still number one after that, but the Switch dropped 150,000 units, and the Xbox dropped down from 123,000 to 40,000. PS4 only dropped 1,000 or less than that, like 900. Go to the next one. They go, oh, oh. So the Xboxes went up 2, and the Switch went down 3, and then the PS4 went up like 2,000, and the PS5 went up to 226 from 190. So they're uppity up. Switch fell down again. Xbox fell down after that. And wow, so this latest week, the PS5 got 184, the Switch is at 109, the Xboxes is at 29, and the PS4 is at 2.6. That's global. That is crazy. That's a little low. in general. I don't know. In 1 week. I mean, I guess that isn't too bad. But damn. What's the platform totals? Let's refresh that. Oh. All right. PS5 is at 32.56. So they are about 12 million more than the Xbox Series consoles. And the Nintendo Switch is at 122.2. So that's, look what's down here. I might keep this in the video, but I'm not sure. I don't even know what you see. Oh, you? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Where the fuck are they? I know they're pretty high. Oh, there it is. The Xbox Series consoles are at 20 million. So they're still under the original Xbox. Remember when the PS5, that was like news when it topped the original Xbox? Now they're at 32. The Xbox it's coming on 20. So they got to get 5 million to get get in the top 20 of all consoles. PlayStation 5 went over Atari. They're going to get over the 64 probably in a week or two. Yeah, they're easily going to get in the top 15 within a couple, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks, maybe. We'll see. Maybe a little bit longer. But 49, that's going to be some time to top the Super Nintendo, but then they'll be in the top 15. Who knows where the fuck Xbox will be? I have no idea. At the top 15, you have Super Nintendo, which that could be the PS5 soon, and then Xbox One, the NES, 3DS, PSP. Like, man, where's it gonna go? Like, we're 3 years in, and it's only at 32 million. Which, I mean, granted, the first couple years was a little difficult, so it's hard to judge. It's they created an unpredictable market. That's what they did. Because now we have no fucking idea. Are they gonna do another 30 million just in this year alone? Is that something we could see? Like out of nowhere? Like this holiday season is gonna be fucking off the walls, dude. If they actually get the stock up everywhere, think about that. Everywhere. Not just your hometown, but every county around you in that state, and then do that to all the states. That's crazy when you think about it. Like there's only 300 million people in the, well, 350-ish of Americans. I would say a lot, like maybe like 20% are gamers that are hardcore about this shit. That's still a shitload, you know? There's a shitload of people that want a PS5, you know? Even people that are bitter right now, and they're like, I don't even want it if I could get it, because fuck them. Like, they would see it and they'd be like, maybe. Maybe I'll do it. So, I don't know. PS5, I just have no idea, dude. Like, it's obviously maybe, like, this time next year, it could be over 50 million. In my logic, you know, I'm thinking it could be 50, 51, somewhere around here. It's not going to be 61, I don't think. I just don't see it. It's not, unless this holiday season kills, which I don't think, which, I mean, it depends on how you look at it too, because like you have the holiday season, which is December, November, and you could even say October in a sense, because that is, you know, the timing that a lot of people get their shit. You know, they get it a month or two early. So that's 3 months. That's a lot of weeks, a lot of, you know, so we could see some massive change. But then you also have to put into September, which is good for Xbox and PlayStation, but I don't know. They got to market it the fuck out of Starfield and be like, buy Game Pass. Game Pass, you can get a huge deal. Like, just get a dude like with some dry ice background, be like, listen, It's $15 for a whole ass game. Just you buy this thing and you pay 15. It's crazy. Just do it. You'll see. And then hopefully Starfield will work. But I'm sure no one knows what the fuck Starfield is except people that know what Starfield is. So and then Spider-Man 2, that only takes a Super Bowl ad. Everybody knows Spider-Man's coming out this. Well, Super Bowl already passed. Shit. Well, I don't know what they're gonna do. We'll have to see the marketing for Spider-Man 2. Hopefully they have a huge E3 season. I say E3 season because no one goes to E3, but the shit happens at the same time that E3 has always happened. If anything, they extend it. So it's even better than E3 because they'll be like, and we have a showcase in July and a one in August, and then we end the year in December. It's like, wow, whoa, fuck. I guess. So that's cool. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to wait and find out how things wind down, I guess. Should be interesting. But let's talk about some movies. Let's look at the movies because the games is a little depressing. Not gonna lie, there's not a lot of games coming out. I mean, there's enough, and there's enough from 2022 that I still have to buy and play. So there, I got my hands full. I'm good. But in a full comparison, man, if we're comparing generations, okay, so we're in 2023. That's 3 years in. So I'll just say the PS3 because that's the one I just know right off the top of the head. But 3 years in from that would have been like 2009. Yeah, like so there was so many games in 2009. We just even go back to 2009 real quick. Let's just see what the fuck came out. That looks kind of like a shitty year. Not gonna lie. So much Wii shit, man. The Nintendo Wii that is an abstract object in our fucking timeline that should have never worked, but it just so happened to just be awesome on so many markets. But yeah, MW2, Super Mario Bros, Mario Kart, Assassin's Creed, Resident Evil, but I know there's a shitload. They're not up there. Sadly, they couldn't top the Wii shit. Street Fighter 4. I remember looking through these lists so long ago when I was doing my PS3 collection in high school. Like it's all coming back to me. But Shell Shock 2, that was cool as fuck. I wish I had it. I don't think I have it anymore. The zombie game. Eating Lead. That I remember that, but I don't remember playing it. Killzone 2. Watchmen game. There's just a lot of content in each month. Right? Like so much more. So many more games. It's just depressing. That was the UFC 2009. Was there 08? There might have been an 08, but I think they started in 09. That was a good game I had. I sucked at it though. Whenever I got in a submission, I'd fucking immediately lose, which I just suck. I suck at like, or I don't know. Maybe the mechanics of it is just annoying to me. I don't know. I think the newer ones kind of did it better, but I still a little shaky on it sometimes. I don't know how to fucking do it the right way. Infamous. So I mean, there's The Sims 3. Oh my, like there's a bunch of hits in 09. We're in June. Prototype, Guitar Hero. Sorry if this is boring, you guys. I'm just genuinely curious as to what happened in 09. That a Harry Potter game? It did. Wow, didn't know that. Battlefield 1943. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe game. Wow. Mad. Oh, yeah. Wolfenstein. Oh, that was awesome. Like, there, man. I wish I was like how old I am now, but in 09. Because I would have gotten all these games, and it's like month after month hits, man. Arkham Asylum. Not yeah, Guitar Hero 5. I remember that. That was awesome. That was awesome. I miss those games, and I don't even know if I have the fucking guitars anymore. I think I sold them. Stupid. That shit's expensive now. The Beatles Rock Band. I remember that. I remember discovering a lot of Beatles music that I did not know about. You know, a lot of their early shit and a lot of their late music that I just was not super familiar with. Awesome game. Need for Speed. Wet. I remember that, but I don't remember if it was good. That was a Bethesda game too. Damn, man. I wonder if I can get that on my Xbox on the marketplace. We'll see. That was a cool. I mean, it was cool. It was like it was like a Matrix crossover with Tomb Raider, I guess. It was weird. It was a weird game. Like you had some fucking you were like fighting on a highway. I think it was like quick time events maybe or something. I gotta look that up. I'm gonna fucking click that bitch, see that about that later. Uh Started to kind of die off. Demon Souls. Borderlands. I mean, they had a game for almost every month and a massive hit at least every 2 months. So I mean, this is crazy to think about. The gaming landscape. Tekken 6. 2009 was the shit. It's actually looking kind of similar, but just not as many titles like Dragon Age Origins, Band Hero. I don't even remember what that was. Uh, Lego Rock Band. Like they just had a lot more, which maybe this will change going into the later half of the year, but right now it's just hard to judge. Left 4 Dead 2. There's a bunch of hits. I need to get off of gaming. I'm going through all those years for no reason. Uh, but yeah, so far this year, movies, Ant-Man is at the top, which is crazy. I think Creed 3 is going to top it. I do. It's already at 140, but we'll see because that came out a little while ago, so I don't know if that might be where it sits at 140. But Ant-Man's on top, but it still is a bust. Like, oh shit, went to Showtime. Ant-Man, the budget is 200 million, so add another 100 for marketing costs, that's 300 million. And then if you fucking see the box office divided in two, they're only at like 233 million. So they're yeah, they're a little under. They're about seven. They need to make 70 more million, and I think it's still at the box office. I am pretty sure. Uh, yeah, it's still at the box office. So, I mean, maybe, it can make some fucking money, but I think it's really gonna rely on like rentals and streaming and the other ways to get money. I don't know if the action figures are really doing it anymore, but we'll just I don't know. I'm not really in that market. What are we at right now? An hour and a half. We're only an hour and a half in. Still have more shit to talk about. But yeah, what else was there? Megan did really well for what its budget was because it was only 12 minutes. So it's what fucking 18 million total in the budgeting. I imagine maybe a little bit more. Nothing crazy. And it got 176 million. They made money off of that bitch. They made money. And honestly, I didn't like that. I didn't like it that much. I have yet to watch the R-rated cut. My parents watched the R-rated cut because they seen it on Peacock before I watched it on I think I rented it. Stupid, stupid. Because it just was cringy at times, you know. And they didn't show anything like I wanted them to. Maybe they do in the R-rated cut. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll watch it. I don't know. We'll see. But Scream is at 89, and I wonder what that budget was. 35. So yeah, they made money off of that bitch too. All those movies make a shitload of money. And it needs to because it has so many damn stars. You know, Hayden uh Panettiere? Panettiere? Courtney Cox. I don't know who she is. She looks kind of famous though. I don't know him. Oh, fucker from Spider-Man. Wow. Jenna Ortega. Oh, I like him. She's been in shit. They've all been in something. They're all. He looks familiar, but I don't know where he's from. Oh, I think he played a villain. Mission Impossible, maybe. Uh, she's at the top of the list for some reason. I wonder if she's the main character. I don't know. But that movie's doing awesome as well. John Wick, let's look at this. We're going to talk about John Wick tomorrow on Box Office Now, but it's doing, I mean, we'll just have to see what week 2 does, but I mean, their budget plus the marketing, so it's probably like 150, and they're at 137. So 137, because you have to take in account that the theaters take pretty much half. So they're at 68. I'm sure it's going to be a success. We'll just have to see what, not only what tonight brings, because I'm sure it's going to, this is much bigger. I think it's going to go to 150 easily within probably the next couple of days, and the next weekend we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what they do, because that's going to be interesting. Because if word of mouth travels, man, that this movie's dope as fuck, I think it'll do awesome. I think so. I hope so, because it is a good movie. It's not, you know, some people might want to, if they're going in thinking it's going to be this elaborate story, it somewhat is, and it's very poetic in the way that it goes about things, and the writing is clever, and they had a callback to the Warriors, which was fucking awesome. I didn't even mind that, you know, they were covers. It was just a cool callback, because I love that movie, the Warriors. But movie is just awesome, you know. Yeah, it's nothing to be taken too seriously. It's a fantasy movie in itself, you know. Just the fact of an action movie, it's awesome. Just sit back, relax, and watch some fucking epic shit, you know. That's awesome. I love this movie. It needs to do good. I hope it does, because they're all good actors. I love Bill Skarsgård. I hope he does an amazing. I think he's supposed to play Nosferatu. Is that how you say it? He's trying to do the vampire remake from like the 20s vampire. Donnie Yen, amazing, even if he is fucking blind in everything he plays. Keanu Reeves, I've always said, like, I don't like I loved him in The Matrix. I liked him in Speed. I liked him in something else I'm missing. And Constantine. He was great in Constantine. But I've always said his acting chops are not all the way there. I don't think I like Bill and Ted. I didn't like the new Bill and Ted movie that much. It's just cringy sometimes, you know, the way but he nailed it on John Wick. There's no acting necessary. He's just awesome. He learned Kung Fu. You ever watch those videos of him out in Las Vegas where he's doing like the training, not the training set, you know, firing range, obstacle course, whatever you want to fucking call it. He did it amazing. Has a lot of heart. He's a good guy. He's just awesome, man. I hope he does more shit. He needs to. He's only fucking 60. I did not know he was 60 years old though. Lawrence Fishburne, awesome. There's his name. See, no, I can't remember shit like that. Hiroki Sanada. Yeah, see, I don't know if I said that right. That's why I just know he's from fucking I don't even know what the fuck he's been in. Rush Hour 3? I don't know. He looks very familiar. He's played in shit, I know. Had to have. Who's Shamir? He was okay. He's a good part of that movie. He didn't take the spotlight or anything. Thought he was a little corny at sometimes. Lance Reddick, awesome, as always. Really didn't get a lot of time with her, but it's whatever. Yeah, he's awesome. Awesome actor. The movie's doing awesome. Hopefully it does phenomenal with the second week with word of mouth. Cocaine Bear did pretty surprising for being what it is. Oh shit. Fucking yeah, 35 million. So what's 17? So they need to make 52. They need to make 52 roughly. Damn, it might be that's close. See if it I don't know if it's in theaters still though. Might not be. Uh Good movie though. Gotta say. Not the best. Didn't end the greatest, but it was something. See what 80 for Brady's doing. Let's look at Shazam, Jesus Revolution, and then Knock at the Cabins at the end. So let's look at these. 80 for Brady probably ain't gonna do too well, but you know, it'll make it up. I hope. It looked like a wholesome movie. I like them all. Mostly Sally Field, and maybe is that Lily Tomlin? She's been in shit. Not really too sure on these two, but they look familiar. Shazam is a bust so far. They still got probably a couple more weeks though, so maybe they can get a little bit higher. We'll just have to see, but it's not looking too good. I've heard really shitty reviews, and if it does go to streaming next month, then yeah, I think it's chops. Jesus Revolution made a shitload of money. Well, uh, they didn't make as much money as I thought. I do like doesn't no. Where the fuck is he? No, he's like the fucker main star. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer. I was like, why is he? He should be number one. He's awesome. Knock at the Cabin. That made money. You have Dave Bautista in it. It's gonna make some. And I had the dude from Harry Potter. Ooh, yeah, he's at the bottom. Yeah, Rupert Grint. So yeah, everything's doing pretty well, I guess. But what's coming out though? What's on the fucking roster? Uh, Dungeons and Dragons. Don't really care. I'm gonna watch Tetris. That looks interesting. Nothing else though. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what that is. It's Addison. Another Bruce Willis movie. Damn it. Super Mario's Bros. And Air. Those two. Maybe I can catch that at a movie theater. Or not a movie theater. A drive-in. That'd be really cool. I want to see both of those. That looks like a lineup at a drive-in. Oh, Amazon Studios. We'll see. I think it's going to theaters. It's not going to Amazon. I don't care about Paint. Renfield looks okay. I don't know if I'm going to see that in theaters. You got the Pope's Exorcist. I don't know. I don't know. Evil Dead Rise. That's going to be awesome. The Covenant looks really good too. I'm going to pass on that. I think that's going to Disney Plus. It's not even going to theaters. Big George Foreman. I don't know what the hell that is. Coming of age movie in the 70s. I don't know. I have to look at it a little bit more. Rachel McAdams is in it. I don't know. Kathy Bates. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Simulant. I don't know about that one. Fast X. That white man can't jump looks cringy. That looks shitty to me, honestly. With Jack Harlow. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Little Mermaid. Don't give a fuck about my father. Maybe. We'll see. I'm Italian, so we'll see. The Machine looks good too, but I don't know. Jar Butler's new action movie. I don't know what that is. Yeah, don't know who. The Boogeyman, Transformers. Hopefully, they don't fuck that up. Strays looks okay. The Flash is gonna do awesome. I take it. Extraction 2, awesome sauce. June. That movie was awesome. Steve Carell. Oh, what the hell is this? Asteroid City. Oh, what the fuck? 1955 setting. Jeff Goldblum, Jeffrey Wright, Leaf Shot. Oh my god. Adrian Brody. Jason Schwartzman, Edward Norton, Scarlett Johansson, Margaret Robbie. Got two bad bitches in the same movie. Oh my god. Tom Hanks, Steve Carell, Fisher Stevens, Matt Dillon, Bryan Cranston, William Dafoe. Oh, this is going to be something. We'll just have to see. Indiana. I think I'm going to pass on that, honestly. See it on Disney Plus or some shit. I don't know. Insidious, Joyride. Okay. Mission Impossible, that's a day one. I'm seeing that bitch. Oppenheimer, day one. Maybe we'll see Barbie and my girlfriend's kind of excited for that for whatever reason. I mean, at least Margot Robbie might look sexy, but I think that is a damn PG-13 movie. I think. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it's rated, man. uh, doesn't fucking say. I guess. No, what the hell is this? Goddamn. I don't even know. They should say it, don't you think? Like, wouldn't that be a goddamn? Or is that IMDb Pro? Oh, I don't know. Who gives a fuck? Uh, Meg 2. Jason Statham's coming back. Oh my god, for Meg 2. Gran Turismo. Who's in that? David Harbour. Oh, okay. They got a couple people. Blue Beetle. Oh no. That the dude from Cobra Kai. He's gonna be Blue Beetle. Okay. Latino. George Lopez. Are you serious? That might make Blue Beetle like watchable. Ooh, Suzanne Sarandon. That's her name. Oh my god. She's awesome. Cool. Cool. Fucking A. Don't fuck it up. The Hill. I don't know what that is. Dennis Quaid's in it. I think I've seen something on it. It looks interesting. If it is what I think. No, it's a fucking sports movie. Maybe not. The Equalizer 3, The Nun 2. Hopefully that's better than the first Nun. I don't know any of these people. Yeah, my big fat no. Haunting in Venice, don't know. Expendables. a new Exorcist movie, Craven the Hunter with fucking Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's, I don't know about that one. We'll see. Saw 10, Dune, Marvels. That's gonna bomb. I can already see it now. The Killer, Michael Fassbender. Okay, we'll see. See how you do, Netflix. I don't know about that one either. New Hunger Games and Wonka with Timothée Chalamet. Fuck that movie. Fuck it. Nope. And it's a musical. No, 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 no. I'm good on that. The Color Purple. I take it with Halle Bailey. Yeah. Who else? Man, they ain't gonna top the original. I like him though. Corey Hawkins. We'll see. We'll fucking see. I know a lot of these stars. Deion Cole. We'll see. See how it goes. She's something. I don't really like her as a person, but she's always in good ass roles. Taraji P. Henson. New Ghostbusters. Looks interesting. Oh, fucking Aquaman's at the very end of the year. Amber Heard getting it. I don't know. I think that's about everything I want. What are we at now? Hour 50. I think we're gonna probably end the show. I feel like we talked about a bunch of shit. Maybe you disagree with me, maybe you didn't. Is what it is. This is just a relaxing place that you can come, smoke your ganja, drink your alcohols, drink your coffee, whatever you want to do, relax and just chill. Comment below whatever came to your head. If you thought something when I said something, just write it down, and I'll engage with you. Be awesome. But yeah, we're gonna have to see how all this goes. I can't wait to see what John Wick does at the next week's box office. Resident Evil 4, we gotta play more of that this week. The Call of Duty acquisition, I think if it goes through, it's gonna be fucking nuts. It's gonna be insane to see what Sony claps back with. And so far, 2023 for gaming has been a little light. Kind of the same with the movies as well. But we have a shitload of movies that are coming out this year. A little light on the games, but as we go forward, we're probably gonna get a little bit more on the gaming side. So that's cool. That's cool. More announcements, and if anything, we'll have something to play most of the time. So anyway, guys, if you liked the video, smash a like, subscribe, join the Wolf Pack. It'd be awesome to have you guys. Anyway, peace.